Hello, welcome to Influencing Your Kid Show. I'm Dr. Freeman, and today I'm going to be talking with you about the 3 things stopping your productivity. If you're a homeschooling mom who is just struggling to feel like you're getting things done, or you're really just not really sure what changes to make or where to get a better feel for your homeschooling days, I encourage you to stay with me today.
The big question is this: how are Christian parents like us, who are arming ourselves against the influences of this world, how do we influence our kids to carry our faith into adulthood? That is the question, and this show will give you the answers. My name is Dolly Freeman, and welcome to Influencing Your Kids.
In this episode, I'm going to be sharing with you 3 important things. I'm going to explain to you what productivity is and what it's not, how your actions are standing in the way of you being productive, and the thing that will make all the difference to productivity in your homeschool. So if this sounds like something that you're excited about, I encourage you to watch the training, join the conversations, and share with your friends. And in today's episode, let's get started with first talking about this very first aspect of what productivity is and it isn't. Productivity is purpose-driven behavior. It is not something that just happens without giving your full and best efforts towards your purpose. And so if you are struggling with your productivity, the number one reason is that you lack purpose in your homeschooling day. So what I want you to really think about is every morning when you wake up, I want you to have a goal of at least 1 to 3 things that you want to have accomplished. I love having 3 things. I focus on 1 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon, and 1 later in the afternoon before dinner time. That helps me to break up my purposes and keep me focused. Now, the second thing I want to talk to you about is how your actions are standing in the way of being productive. Now, this whole aspect of your current habits and your allowances that you are allowing your family to do is what's standing in the way of new habits that will be purpose driven to your productivity. So here's what I mean by that. The second thing stopping you is the lack of good habits. So when we do not have a purpose-driven day, what ends up happening is that we allow our nature, our normal comfort zone of what it is that we've been allowing, and also the fact that in these times we have emotional decisions that are causing us to stay in old behavior. So I want to encourage you to be thinking not just about your purpose in the day, but the good habits that you need in order for those purposes to happen. And then the third thing I want to talk about is the thing that makes all the difference to productivity. So that is removing redundant decisions by creating systems. So that number 3 thing that's stopping you from being productive in your homeschooling is the lack of systems. So if you could start and recognize that if I had systems in place, it's going to be better for those good habits to be formed. It's going to help you to live out your day in a productive way that's going to make a big difference in the overall productivity of your homeschooling day. So let me recap on what it is that I want you to take away from today's episode. The 3 things that's stopping your productivity is number 1, the lack of purpose in your day. Number 2, the lack of good habits. And number 3, the lack of systems. If you can really work on these 3 things, making sure you have purpose, making sure that you're forming good habits and that you're putting systems in place, your homeschooling day will become more and more productive. Now, if you're like the majority of homeschooling moms who really don't know how to make those changes, I would love to invite you to a free 5-day workshop. And you just have to reserve your free spot into the workshop. I'm going to be talking about my organization system, my framework, where you can actually go and get your registration in. It's productivehomeschoolworkshop.com. Over 5 days, I'm going to be talking about the organization framework. And in that, I'm going to walk you step by step each day, where I'm going to walk you through one aspect of each part of that organized framework. And yes, it just so happens that 2 of those days, we're going to be talking about habits and systems. So you do not want to miss this free opportunity to get better productive in your homeschooling. Now, if you are struggling right now in any of those aspects, I want you to start your day just figuring out your purpose. What's the purpose of that day? We all go through different seasons in our life, and different situations create let's say, a different feel for the purpose that we're having in each and every moment. But if we just take a step back and we become purposeful and intentional about our day, you will find that things will go much smoother. You'll get things done easier, faster, and better, especially if you participate inside the workshop. So I hope to see you there. And again, we'll recap real quick. Those 3 things stopping you from having a productivity is: number 1, the lack of purpose. Number 2 is the lack of good habits. And number 3 is the lack of systems. I hope to see you next time on Influencing Your Kids. Until then, bye for now.
Thank you for listening to Influencing Your Kids. Start a conversation by commenting on this episode, share it on social media, or join the movement at 1000wholesomehours.com. Subscribe now so you don't miss our next episode.